And welcome into the BCU Wildcat Basketball Insider here from historic Moore Gymnasium, a place that we're putting people to work this spring. Why so? Because banners need updating. I'm Nolan Alexander, joined by Brian Harvey. And Brian, we're talking about the only Division I program to feature a regular season basketball championship in men's and women's basketball. The only Division I program to have that, and the Player of the Year in men's and women's basketball, the Defensive Player of the Year in men's and women's basketball. If that's not a statement enough to tell you how good of a time it is to be a Wildcat, I don't know what else to say.
I think you said it all right there. There is nothing else to say. You're talking about Defensive Player of the Year, men and women. Player of the Year, men and women. Regular season champions, men and women. I mean, this is a time to be a Wildcat on the court, off the court, in the classroom, out of the classroom, recruiting, coaches, just everything. It's time to be a Wildcat. Calling the games, working the games, the behind-the-scenes staff, just everyone. This is really a time to jump on board for BCU basketball. I tell you, it was a special year, and Nolan, there's only bright things to come in the future with VBL and Ryan Ritter.
Bright things to come, starting out for the women. Third straight MEAC regular season championship. The Cats went 15-1 this year. 24 wins, set a new program record. What does it mean for a program to establish itself truly as a program and as a dynasty, as opposed to maybe just having one good year, but now Vanessa Blair-Lewis has done it in succession, 3 straight?
I think you talk about just that. You want to be a dynasty, you have to go out and you got to restock every year. You don't just go in and fill players in. No, you go in and get players that are going to come in and keep it rolling. You're talking about people like Angel Golden, Ashanti Hunt. They're coming in as freshmen and helping to get the first title. And you move on and you keep going from there. You talk about people like Chasmie Brown that come in, plug in, play. You lose people last year like Kaylin Williams and you think, oh, they just lost everything. No, they didn't. They went out and got players that came in, fill those roles, and go to the next level. 3 straight championships, that's not easy to do on the women's side. I mean, unless you're UConn or someone like that just, you talk about you want to get to that level. This is how you do it. You start a base of filling in the roles every single year that you lose, not with just players that come in and continue what you've already set. That continuity is the biggest thing. Winning at a championship level, that's what you do. And Vanessa Blair-Lewis and their staff, they know what to do. They know the holes to fill, and they're doing it.
And then on the men's side, our Vice President of Intercollegiate Athletics, Lynn W. Thompson, said when he hired Ryan Ritter, the first thing I want you to do, Ryan, is change the culture. The wins are going to fall after that, but change the culture. Well, the wins followed up pretty quick. 18 wins for the Wildcats, the second ever MEAC regular season championship in program history. That's quite the foundation for year one, where things are going to only increase in year 2 and 3.
It's only going to increase. And the thing that we talked about during the last show was he has changed the culture. Nolan, you just said it. Change the culture. That was the one thing Ryan Ritter wanted to do when he got in here. And you know what? When he came in, he did just that. He brought in a staff that loves him, loves the players, loves the game. That is the biggest thing. You start with that staff. Those guys are going to get in there, and you're going to be spending time with hours, days, weeks, months with all the time, and kind of just saying, guys, we're going to be our group. We're going to be our family. That's what you have to do. You have to get that first group. Then you go get the players that are going to buy into what those coaches are teaching you. Then you go get the support staff that's going to buy into what the coaches and players are doing. Everyone has to help. He changed the culture, and Nolan, the culture here at BCU right now is only going to continue to grow under Ryan Ritter. I tell you what, he's done a phenomenal job, and I look forward to year 2 and 3 myself. I do.
All right, that's enough of our thoughts. Up next, let's get the thoughts of the MEAC Players of the Year for the men's and the women's side. Brandon Tabb and Angel Golden joining us next here in the BCU Wildcat Basketball Insider Show.
At BCU, every game is a life lesson.
A chance to show faith,
respect,
and sportsmanship.
It's bigger than winning or losing.
There's life beyond the game.
Opportunities beyond the classroom.
Responsibilities to our community.
On a much larger stage.
As ambassadors to the world.
Leaders, champions, we are Wildcats. And we believe in faith, integrity, and love. Enter to learn, depart to serve. That's the Bethune-Cookman way. Go Wildcats!
The DNA of Bethune-Cookman comes from the heart of a great woman whose legacy lives on today in each and every Wildcat.
I leave you love.
I leave you hope.
I leave you a thirst for education.
I leave you faith.
I leave you, finally, a responsibility to our young people.
Great leaders always leave something for others to follow.
What will you leave us?
In the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, success for our student athletes isn't just measured by wins and losses, points on the scoreboard, or individual stats. It's also measured by their performance in the classroom, in the community, and ultimately graduation. Our student athletes aren't just playing to win a single game, they're playing to win at life. Because games end, but life keeps on going. The MEAC, educating student athletes for the game of life.
Thank you for joining us today here in the BCU Wildcat Basketball Insider Show. For all those watching that have aspirations of playing Division I college basketball, you want to pay attention to the stories of Angel Golden and Brandon Tabb, our MEAC Players of the Year on the women's and the men's side. And they each had an opportunity to do something else when the going got tough, to take the easy way out. Instead, they chose the hard route, and it paid off. Let's go ahead and meet Angel and Brandon.
I'm here with Angel Golden, 2017-18 MEAC Player of the Year. Angel, just talk about that accomplishment and what that means going forward in your career here at BCU. I mean, what does it mean to have gotten that Player of the Year tag onto you?
Just means a lot of hard work has paid off. You know, I stayed in the gym. When times when I wanted to just say forget it, you know, I kept pushing myself every day.
Angel, what happened last summer that you said, you know what, I don't want to play this game anymore, then all of a sudden saying, you know what, no, I am going to play this game and I'm going to be the best at this game to get Player of the Year?
I think I just lost the feel for it. You know, you fall out of love with something you know, you've been playing your whole life. But I had a lot of people, you know, push me and tell me, you know, you're talented. And I think that's what really helped me. And ever since then, like, I've just been in the gym pushing myself hard, like nonstop, no days off.
Angel, was it one person or anybody in particular that pushed you to say, no, keep your butt in the gym?
Oh no, you know, the coaches kept pushing me. They definitely are like my second family away from here. You know, I have my parents, of course. They always pushed me since I was a kid, but they always stayed in my head and told me I could do this. So,
Angel, when you look at this past year and just say, hey, look, this is what I can do when I really focus. I can go to this level next year. What's that level? What is the next level now? You got Player of the Year. What's the next level in Angel Golden's progression at BC?
Hey, next level, take the team to the MEAC championship and taking it all.
When we look back at this year, back-to-back MEAC champs, you get Player of the Year, Shanti Defensive Player of the Year, all that's coming back for next year. What kind of nucleus does that make? And even next year, as you being looked at as a leader next year, what does that mean for next year as a team? What do you say in bringing the group together and say, hey, look, we accomplished this, but we still got to get this?
It's just, I mean, it's good, you know, like we got all the pieces of most of the main pieces coming back. So, you know, we just got to take a practice one day at a time next year. Shoot, it starts now. We have to put in the work now. The newcomers, freshmen, they have to put in the work.
What do you work on for during the summer? I mean, what's something that you say, look, this is part of my game that I know I need to work on for next year to make the team better, and then something that you say, personally, this is what I need to work on to make myself better? What's something that you work on every day in the gym or even out of the gym?
Well, this year I want to be focused on more driving, because I think, you know, I got my one dribble pull up, I got my jump shot, but I think if I improve my driving abilities, then I think there's no stopping me.
When you talk about you work on the drive, are you talking about even on the perimeter, up top? I mean, is it just everywhere that you just say,
everywhere.
hey, look, I want to get that? And
shot, fake, go in, take it to the rim.
When you look at your three-point game, what's something that you work on for that? Because it looks like it don't need any help, at least from my end right now. What do you work on the perimeter, if anything?
I work on all different types of shots, you know, game shots, standing still, you know, coming off the screen, all of them.
One thing to describe you for next year that fans are going to see? Like, what's the one thing next year that fans are going to see that you're going to say, look, this is what you're going to see out of Angel Golden? I'm putting you on the spot now. Give me one word. Give me one word.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable. She was unstoppable this year in the MEAC. She's going to be unstoppable next year in the MEAC. It's Angel Golden, your Player of the Year.
And now it's time to meet the 2018 Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference Player of the Year. On the men's side, Brandon Tabb. Brandon, your story is so interesting, and I want to hit on this first. When there was a coaching transition last spring, almost a year ago, you had scored close to 20 points the year before. I'm sure you had an opportunity. If you wanted to go somewhere else, you could have. you decided to stay, and you decided to commit yourself to being the best player you could be, and obviously it paid off this year. Why did you choose to make the decision to stay in Daytona Beach and commit yourself to get to the next level?
It's funny because our coach, Ryan Ritter, you know, I've known him for like 2 years in JUCO, so when he came, I know what he was coming with, and I know what he was coming to let us do, you know. I knew he was coming to make us better, so I decided to stay, and it was a real decision choice, and it paid off, actually. He's a great guy. He brought a great coaching staff, and we had a great team, and everything was just great.
Now, you said it before after many games, you couldn't have the success that you did this year without the help of your teammates. How did they help you win this award in 2018?
You know, they're just having my back, you know, just guys consistently telling me, you know, next shot, you got this, you know, you're our leader, you know, that stuff like that motivates you, and it pushes you to go farther.
2 years here in Daytona Beach with Bethune-Cookman, 22nd all-time in scoring for the Wildcats, the career free throw percentage leader, finished 4th in the nation in free throw shooting this season. You had a lot of great memories. When you reminisce on your time at BCU, what memories are going to stick out to you?
You know, just the culture, the family, you know, everybody here, it's been special for me, you know, everybody, they took me in, and it's been special, and I wouldn't give it away for anything, you know.
And your career's not done. Lots of basketball in the future for you. And I guess most immediately coming up at the end of March, beginning of April, you're going to compete in the 3-on-3 National Championship in San Antonio. How excited are you for that?
Oh, very excited. You know, anytime you get a free trip anywhere, you know, you're going to be excited. So it's just, I've never been to San Antonio to go see the Final Four, you know, dream come true.
Well, Brandon, we'll be seeing more of you, but this is the last time we're going to have you on camera as a Bethune-Cookman Wildcat. Any last words out there for Wildcat Nation?
I just want to say thank you all Wildcats for supporting and watching us, and just thank you for everything.
All right, Brandon, thanks so much, and good luck in San Antonio.
Thank you.
At BCU, every game is a life lesson.
A chance to show faith,
respect,
and sportsmanship.
It's bigger than winning or losing.
There's life beyond the game, opportunities beyond the classroom,
responsibilities to our community
on a much larger stage.
As ambassadors to the world,
leaders, champions, we are Wildcats. And we believe in faith, integrity, and love. Enter to learn, depart to serve. That's the Bethune-Cookman way. Go Wildcats!
The DNA of Bethune-Cookman comes from the heart of a great woman whose legacy lives on today in each and every Wildcat.
I leave you love.
I leave you hope.
I leave you a thirst for education.
I leave you faith.
I leave you, finally, a responsibility to our young people.
Great leaders always leave something for others to follow.
What will you leave us?
In the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, success for our student athletes isn't just measured by wins and losses, points on the scoreboard, or individual stats. It's also measured by their performance in the classroom, in the community, and ultimately graduation. Our student athletes aren't just playing to win a single game, they're playing to win at life. Because games end, but life keeps on going. The MEAC, educating student athletes for the game of life.
Well, we just heard from the MEAC Players of the Year for Bethune-Cookman women's and men's basketball as you wrap up the 2017-18 season here in the BCU Wildcat Basketball Insider Show. Well, in addition to the Players of the Year, the Wildcats also feature the Defensive Players of the Year in Ashanti Hunt and Sufi Diakite, and 2 players that will be back for next season. Let's turn it over to Brian, who sat down with Ashanti.
I'm here with Ashanti Hunt, 2017-18 Defensive Player of the Year in the MEAC. Ashanti, talk about what that means and then driving forward what that means for your career here at BCU.
Honestly, defense has always been my game. I've always been a defensive player, even young. So I kind of let my defense create my offense. And for us, Wildcat basketball is defense first. So we try to get after it on the defensive end, making it easier for ourselves in transition and things of that nature. So looking forward, hoping to get it again next year. Honestly, that's what I'm pushing for, and even more accolades and more high.
What do you work on, though? I mean, you already accomplished it. What do you work on to get even better defensively?
You got to work on timing, change the speed, change the direction, beating them to the spot. Work on guarding the different types of players, honestly. I got to get better at
transitioning from one player to the next. I mean, I do pretty well, but there's always something you can work on.
Shanti, when you look at what you guys have done the last 2 years, back-to-back regular season champs, what does that do to motivate you going forward? Obviously, falling just short in the tournament, we know that. But talk about what it does to drive you moving forward into next year.
Moving forward, we did it 3 times. We're trying to do it a 4th time, and then even after I'm gone, we're trying to keep doing it. We've set a standard, so to speak. So anything shorter that we're not taking, and we don't really want that.
What kind of hunger does it give you personally to say, you know what, I got Defensive Player of the Year, I got the Player of the Year and Angel Golden on my team. We can battle each other because I want to get that Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. What kind of hunger does that give you? And then kind of that friendly rivalry in between you guys going to next year.
Having teammates like that is good. Competition is good, especially once you keep getting higher and higher in level of playing. To get people that drive you to be better, and that's not even just on the floor, but just as a person and in life in general.
Next year, a lot of people say, you know what, the team's got a whole lot coming back. They're looking at high expectations once again. What's something as a senior leader next year that you want to be able to bring to the team and say, hey, look, preseason, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to focus on.
Have a mindset. Everybody has to have the same mindset. One goal, one team. Need to get everybody to buy into the system. Freshmen, returners, everybody. The system is key. Get that discipline. That I found that's kind of big in making teams better. Even the little things like everybody wearing their jersey in practice or something like that. So we just got to be hungry and not letting what we did, what we've accomplished thus far, keep us stagnant. You got to keep going.
Shanti, one more question here. One thing over the summer that's going to drive you the entire time? What's one thing in your mind from this past season that's going to drive you that you say, I just didn't get this one thing, I'm going for it next year?
It's a lot. I can't pick just one thing, but for me, since it's fresh, them free throws, so definitely working on free throws, but on my whole craft, breakdown moves, consistently hitting the jumper, consistently hitting the 3. So it's a lot of things I got to work on, and I'm going to work on it. So
you say it's a lot of things you got to work on. I don't think it's a lot she has to work on, guys. But you know what? We're going to find out. It's Ashanti Hunt, 2017-18 Defensive Player of the Year in the MEAC.
Joined now here in the BC Wildcat Basketball Insider Show by the 2018 MEAC Defensive Player of the Year on the men's side, Sufi Diakite. Sufi, given your basketball career, the roller coaster it's been, what does this season mean to you, if you can put it in words, to come out with the Defensive Player of the Year, a MEAC title, and a record-setting season?
This year was a dream come true. Because if you asked me early on, everything me and my team was able to accomplish, like, I wouldn't had thought it would happen, but you know, it did, and I'm thankful for everything that happened.
You finished the year as the MEAC's leading rebounder. You set the Bethune-Cookman single-season field goal shooting record as well. But Sufi, you played a lot better to end the season than how you started the season. A bit of a slower start for you. What was the turning point in the year for you?
It was just really being patient, waiting on my moment, and just getting back in shape. Being out of school played a factor too, so it was just me getting back in shape, and as the year went on, like, I started to click for me, you know what I'm saying? I started to get more comfortable. The chemistry with me and the guys on the floor and with the coaches, it just started to click. And once everything is clicking, the game spoke for itself. So that definitely helped.
Arguably, Sufi, you saved your best performance for the very end against Florida A&M. You did something that no other player in the nation did this year. You went 13 for 13 from the field. That's the best mark in the NCAA in a game against our arch rivals on the road to clinch a share of the MEAC regular season championship, second time in school history. In that game, was it something that you felt as the moment you kind of rose to the occasion there on a bigger stage, you were more locked in? What was your mindset in that game?
Honestly, I like big games like that. Like, that's like something I dreamed of all the time. So I was just like, what I'm gonna do is just hold my emotions, like just focus on playing the game and getting the job done. And I know how much we preached about winning the MEAC title and more, but it was all in my head while I was on the floor, and I was like, I can't let my guys down and I can't let the coaches down. So you gotta rise to the occasion when the lights is bright. So I love moments like that.
What were the emotions like in the locker room after that victory?
The emotions was crazy. It was running high. Everybody was high-fiving, throwing water all over the place. It felt real good, but it just like we got to celebrate the hard work that we put in all year round. So it felt real good.
We've got you back for another season. Next season, Sufi will be a senior for the Wildcats. What's this offseason going to look like for you? What do you want to focus on to grow your game?
This offseason, I'm going to work on my weaknesses. So pretty much everything that I do well, I'm going to still continue to work on that too. But I just want to kind of expand my game and just try to be a more dominant and more better player. So just look out next year.
Okay. So what ways do you want to expand your game? What are some of the weaknesses you want to improve?
I didn't shoot the three ball a lot this year, but I want to expand my game out to the three-point line for sure. Be a better mid-range shooter, and definitely I want to shoot the free throw better too. So, and be a better ball handler. So, if I could put all of those things together, I know it will help the team and myself. So, it'll be great.
Sufi, thanks for your time. Congrats on your honor and a championship for the Wildcats, and good luck this offseason.
Appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
Coming to Daytona Beach, I didn't know that I would be experiencing so many beautiful places. The beach is a beautiful place to be. The water really clears my mind. And on top of that, coming to Bethune-Cookman, it was my escape from everything else.
When I first stepped on this campus, I basically didn't have anything, just 2 bags to my name. But I immediately understood that this school is about family, unity, love.
She gave me love.
She gave me hope.
She gave me the thirst for education.
And most of all, she gave me the respect for the uses of power. We live in a way that reflects our deepest convictions. But most of all, we enter to learn and depart to serve. So take a look at Bethune-Cookman University.
And we're just about running out of time here in the BCU Wildcat Basketball Insider Show as we close down 2017-18. I'm Nolan Alexander, joined with Brian Harvey. Let's go ahead and put 30 seconds on the screen. Brian, in 30 seconds, give us what to look forward to for the Lady Cats next season.
I think you look forward to Vanessa Blair-Lewis, Chandler McCabe, Dante, Demetria Frank, Angel Golden, Ashanti Hunt, the nucleus being back. This is an absolutely fantastic ball club coming back. This is a team that is going to have the player of the year, the defensive player of the year, and a bench, as well as the coaches all coming back. In the recruiting class they have coming in, I'll tell you what, Vanessa and Chandler have said this is one of the best in school history. So you know what? I'm looking forward to another title. Let's make it a 4-peat, and let's bring home the MEAC Tournament Championship. 30 seconds. Nolan, you spent a lot of time with the men's team this year, Ryan Ritter and that staff. 30 seconds or less on what you see for next year's men's basketball team, 18-19.
Well, there's not many programs, I think, that are going to lose the player of the year and then get better the next season, but I think that's going to happen. Wildcats had 18 wins this past year. They're going to increase that, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they return a strong nucleus coming back. You got the Defensive Player of the Year, Sufi Diakite, Shawntrez Davis, Malik Maitland, Isaiah Bailey, all back in the fold. And you return Cottrell Pope, who set out last season. He led the JUCO in rebounding. The Cats finished second in the nation in rebounding last year. They're going to be even better on the boards. They're going to score more points. It's going to be an electric time at Moore Gym. Well, Brian, it's our last episode, and we would be remiss if we didn't dish out a lot of thank yous to everyone who's made this season and this production possible here in 2017-18.
You know what? I want to thank everybody. Let's start at the top with President Grimes. You know, let's start there. I want to thank him, his cabinet, just everyone that came out to the games. Used to see them in the far right corner here at Moore Gymnasium. They come out, they support. I want to thank them. I want to thank our Director of Athletics, our Vice President for Intercollegiate Athletics, Lynn W. Thompson, the whole staff, Sandra Booker, Tony O'Neill for facilities, Alvin Wyatt Jr. for the facilities and the great job that he does setting us up at the table crew and everything. Lori Lewis, Warnell Vickers, Harold Ford, you know, everybody that does a great job for PA, the DJ, just everyone that makes it an absolutely fantastic environment here at Moore Gymnasium, the backroom staff, the managers for each team, the video people for each team. They really help this thing go, and they really make it a great environment. They help the coaches do what they do. I want to thank just everyone on my staff that comes out, works the games, Dan Ryan, Nolan Alexander, Jasmine Alston, just everyone, Chris Bell, Bianca Cacho, Darian McCaskill, the Cat Eye crew, just everyone imaginable that helps it from the behind-the-scenes standpoint that you never really see in front of the camera, but those names are behind the scenes that make this thing go. I want to thank you, just everyone, and if I missed anybody, you know I love you. You know you're in my heart. I don't mean to miss you.
Well, being on the road with men's basketball, I got to see a lot of the unsung heroes, so a big thank you to trainer Karina Paps, graduate assistant Blake Jackson, managers Ed Kelly and Mike Chaffman. They did a lot for this program in 2017 and 18. And then on the women's side, my Cat Eye Network interns, they had the calls in the Cat Eye Network, Eric White and Ty McDougall. Great job this season. But of course, we couldn't have done all of this without you, the fans, for being loud and proud at historic Moore Gymnasium. Fans, alumni, friends, and family of this team, couldn't have done it without you. You had an awesome season cheering on these Wildcats. And I know firsthand, talking to both the teams on the women's and the men's side, that they really appreciated what you did this season. And we're going to need more of it in 2018 and 19. Brian, a lot of fun this year. I enjoyed it. Can't wait for our next episode.
I enjoyed it, Nolan. Next year, it's not going to come fast enough. And the next episode with you, it's not going to come fast enough. But I want to thank you as well. Everything you did this year, Nolan, you're fantastic.
Retweet that right back at you, B.
It's coming.
All right, that's going to wrap it up here for the 2017-18 BCU Wildcat Basketball Insider. For Brian Harvey, I'm Nolan Alexander. A big thank you to our King's Eye Media crew, Chris and Amanda Hoke, who did a wonderful job producing every package for our football and men's basketball show this year. Check them out, kingseyemedia.com. We'll see you next season. Hail Wildcats!